Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now we are going to talk about textbook evaluation. In general, foreign language instruction has five important components such as students, teachers, materials, teaching methods, and evaluation. With regards to materials, Allwright 1999 argues that materials should teach students to learn, that they should be resource books for ideas and activities for instruction or learning, and that they should give teachers rationales for what they do. From Allwright's point of view, textbooks are too inflexible to be used directly to as instructional material. Theoretically, experienced teachers can teach English without a textbook. However, it is not easy to do it all the time. Though they may do it sometimes, many teachers do not have enough time to make supplementary materials, so they just follow the textbook. Textbooks, therefore, take on a very important role in language classes, and it is important to select a good textbook. So, how important is a textbook? The answer to this question depends on the teacher's own teaching style, the resources available to them, the accepted standards of teaching in every language, school, and etc. Those who put no importance to textbooks argue as follows. 1. Every group or students has different needs. No textbook can be a response to all differing needs. 2. Topics in textbook may not be relevant to or interesting for all learners. 3. A textbook inhibits or confines teachers' creativity. 4. A textbook has its own rationale, and as such, it cannot cater for a variety of levels, every type of learning styles, and strategies. 5. Teachers may find themselves as mediators to others' judgments about what is good and what is not. Sorry. Meanwhile, those who believe that textbooks are important argue that 1. Without a textbook, learners think their learning is not taken seriously. 2. In many situations, a textbook can serve as a syllabus. 3. It provides ready-made teaching texts and learning tasks. 4. It is a cheap way of providing learning materials. 5. Without it, learners will be out of focus and teacher dependent. 6. For novice teachers, a textbook means security, guidance, and support. 7. With regards to choice number 3, teachers believe that no textbooks satisfy their needs. Therefore, they assign supplementary materials based on their own specific needs in their own specific teaching situation. The textbook selection and evaluation. Some scholars view that the idea of evaluating textbooks is closely linked to the selection of textbooks. The evaluation helps the selection, which serves as an important decision-making process. Evaluation of textbooks functions as a kind of educational judgment, as Hutchinson and Waters 1987 state that evaluation is a matter of judging the fitness of something for a particular purpose. Meanwhile, Konigsworth 1984 puts forward the idea that the process of evaluation could not be a purely mechanical one and that professional judgment was involved at every stage. He adds that professional judgment founded on understanding of the rationale of language teaching and learning and backed up by practical experience lies at the base of evaluation procedure. The evaluation and selection of textbooks is a complex process. For these reasons, Scirso 1999 pinpoints three main aspects to consider in selecting textbooks, namely the language, cultural information, and the content. Number one, the language used in the textbooks should have correct, natural, recent standard English. Vocabulary and grammar in textbooks should be controlled, especially for lower level students. It would be useful to have a variety genre so as to introduce students with different types of texts. Number two, The cultural information included in textbooks should be correct and recent, reflecting cultures of English. Visual aids are needed to help students understand cultural information. And number three, the content of textbooks should be useful, meaningful, and interesting for students. Textbooks are for students. To meet their needs, the textbook must not contain language skills demanded by the curriculum, but it also must fit the needs of the students. BERT 2002 provides some questions as checklists to select textbook which fit the students' needs, which include content, examples, exercises or tasks, and presentation or format. Number one, the content or explanation. Is the content likely to, so the question is the content likely to be of interest or use to other students? Is there any chance that the content could be offensive or inappropriate for its intended audience? Or do the explanations work for these learners? Or do they help learners understand what they need in order to learn? And then number two, the examples. The questions are the examples appropriate to the lives and interests of the students? Do the examples fit closely with the concepts they are supposed to be explaining? And then number three, the exercises or tasks. The question are, do the exercises or tasks provide enough variety to meet the needs of different kinds of learners in the class or classes? Or will they be of interest to these students? And then number four, presentation or format. The questions are, does the book look right for these students? Are the illustrations and other graphical and design elements appropriate for the age and educational level? Is the printed text easy to read and appropriate for their reading level? Is the mix between print and white space balanced so that readability is enhanced and appropriate? Does the book have an index, appendixes, or other sections that are usable by students? Or is the book well constructed? Or will it last a term of hard use by students? So, in conclusion, there are five elements in language instruction: the students, teachers, materials, teaching methods, and evaluation. And current approach in language teaching puts students as the center of instruction. However, among these five components, materials often control the instruction. The reason is that teachers and learners tend to rely heavily on them. Materials which are appropriate for a particular class need to have an underlying instructional philosophy, approach, method, and technique which suit the students and their needs. They should have corrected natural, current, and standard English. Teachers need to look for good materials, both commercial and non-commercial, all the time. Some checklists presented in this section are worth considering. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you so much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.